Warning. Pregnant women, the elderly, and children under 16 should avoid prolonged exposure to Dirt Diggler. Dirt Diggler may suddenly accelerate to dangerous speeds. Dirt Diggler has high gluten content and is not kosher, halal, or vegan safe. Do not ingest Dirt Diggler, as Dirt Diggler is for external use only. Discontinue listening to Dirt Diggler if any of the following occurs: itching, vertigo, dizziness, discoloration of urine, tingling in extremities, loss of balance or coordination, slurred speech, temporary blindness, profuse sweating, heart palpitations, increased use of profanity. If listening to Dirt Diggler gives you an erection lasting longer than 4 hours, you're welcome. Listening to Dirt Diggler may lead to unplanned pregnancies. If Dirt Diggler begins to smoke, get away immediately. Seek shelter and cover head. Dirt Diggler may stick to certain types of skin. When not in use, Dirt Diggler should be returned to a special container and kept under refrigeration. The ingredients of Dirt Diggler include, but are not limited to, a glowing substance which fell to the earth, presumably from outer space, and bad memories. Do not taunt Dirt Diggler. Dirt Diggler does not come with a lifetime guarantee. Dirt Diggler, enjoy the show.
Extra heat.
All right, what's up, everybody? It's Dirt Diggler, the dirtiest Diggler to ever Diggler for Dirt Could Diggler. I think I nailed it. I think I got it. I think I got it like 3 weeks in a row. I think I got it. I'm gonna have to go back to the tape, but I think I got it. All right, so after I had to take this weekend off. It was Memorial Day, right? So Memorial Day is all about remembering the those who have fallen in the defense of the country. And I had gotten some news about one of the guys I had served with. Committing suicide, and it's something that I've had to deal with a lot more often than I would like to. A lot of the folks that wore the uniform with me, that I served with, that I deployed with, and had a beer with, are no longer with us, and it's totally the wrong reason. And I didn't want to go into the podcast with that fresh on the mind and really bring down the recording. Suicide is real. The life of a veteran is real. None of these things are trivial. And they're worth talking about, and at some point, maybe I will, but I don't believe this is the proper forum to do it. So I had to take this weekend off just so I can be sure I came in and gave everybody the best performance that they would enjoy, because I'm not really here to depress anybody, but it is what it is, and life continues on, and you just remember the best way you can. So, all right. So shout out to RTO Beats, right? I keep forgetting to do this, and I want to do it today, right now. All right, so RTO Beats, he's the guy that produces all the fine music that you hear related to this show, right? The new intro music, the outro music, the old intro music, the intro music before that. That was all produced by the same guy, RTO Beats. He's on SoundCloud, so go look him up. Talk to the dude. If you make music, or if you know someone who makes music and they need beats, go holler at him and see what he can do for you. Maybe he's got something already, like, stock, I guess. I don't know how that works, if it's like a stock thing. Go out back and get the good beats or whatever. I don't know. Look, go talk to him, see what he's got, see what he can do for you, and support this man. He does great work. He does really great work. So moving on. Today on the show, I have my first installment of Why Your Division Sucks. We're going to be talking about the AFC East, because I've decided arbitrarily that I'm going to do this alphabetically. So AFC East is the first division alphabetically. We're going to talk. I have a new segment called Philly Media Fuckery, with a PH, of course, because Philly. We're going to talk about the NBA playoffs and what happened in both the Eastern and Western Conference Finals. And the fact that the Phillies still don't suck a little bit, as well as a brief, quick drive-by on the Stanley Cup championship that's taking place in the NHL. So let me get into it. So the teams that comprise the AFC East are you have the Patriots, the Bills, the Jets, and the Dolphins, right? And I'm going to explain why this division sucks, right? The division as a whole. So part of why the division sucks is they've kind of like been getting their asses collectively kicked by the Patriots for well over a decade, right? So if you're like a Patriots fan, you're like, fuck yeah, they're kicking their ass. Yes, the Patriots are kicking their ass, and there's the occasional win by one of those other teams, and they treat that win like it's a goddamn Super Bowl. And so let me tell you, the bar is set pretty low in that division if you're not playing or a fan of the Patriots. Let's think, right? So beating the Patriots should not feel like winning the Super Bowl if you play them twice a year and have for a long time. That's just a very low bar. I mean, you're talking about the Jets. They have a Lombardi trophy. You're talking about the Dolphins. They still own, as a franchise, the best record ever. And then you have the Bills, who have been to the Super Bowl 4 fucking consecutive times, which they lost every last one of them in even more spectacular fashion each time. And then you have the Patriots, who have managed to win 4 times. They've been 6 during this particular reign, but we're going to get into why each team individually sucks in a second. We're just talking about why the division as a whole sucks. So that's kind of why you suck. You suck because you allowed the Patriots as a division to have the run of the division forever, and no one has gotten out of their own dysfunction to challenge this dominance by basically the fucking Dark Empire, the Siths. So let me get into it, right? So the Patriots, start there, because the Patriots are the dominant force in that division. The Patriots have 4 Super Bowl wins, and each win has its own special asterisk. Think of them as snowflakes, as in no 2 scandals are the same for the Patriots. So, the Patriots have been involved in some of the best cheating I think I've ever seen. Like NASCAR owners and teams are looking at the Patriots like, how can we innovate cheating the way these guys do? Poker players are sitting there like, I need to be more like these guys if I'm going to win. So you have that. And then you have Bill Belichick, who's basically Dick Cheney minus the shotgun, I'm assuming, unless Aaron Hernandez borrowed his gun for the killings. That's pretty low blow. You know what? That's lowest common denominator shit. I'm not gonna make light of a convicted murderer. It's kind of low even for someone who's not a Patriots fan. So I'm gonna stop right there. But hey, look, the head coach is like fucking Dick Cheney. He's goddamn Emperor Palpatine for the most part. He kind of looks the part. He behaves in a similar manner. I mean, the dude is like the living embodiment of the fucking dark side. You also have a fancy dog as your quarterback, and Tom Brady, who needs to be pampered and coddled and fed a special diet and everything, just like a fancy show dog. So that's always exciting, right? And to top it off, the fucker can't get a high five from his teammates to save his life. He can't. I mean, I don't know how many GIFs I've seen of this guy going for a high five for several teammates and completely fucking fail. This is a guy with 4 Super Bowl rings on his hand, and he can't get a high five. So I always found that to be pretty interesting. And then you have the fans. Now, let's be honest here, right? So in 2000, I didn't really care about the Patriots. I didn't care about the Red Sox. I didn't care about any of the Boston teams. And then Boston kind of started into this era where they win a bunch of championships. And as a result, like every fucking New Englander I've run into has been goddamn insufferable. I mean, fucking Patriots fans, and of all these dickheads, the Patriots fans are the fucking worst, right? Because they take on this like air of being righteous when your team's been involved in like countless scandals. Like these motherfuckers break out Bill Nye the Science Guy to try to fucking prove how Deflategate couldn't have happened or some shit. Listen, all anyone wants you to do is own that your team fucking cheats its ass off and just deal with it. The sooner you live with that, the sooner the rest of the fucking league will move on and quit hating you bitches. Like, just be real about it. Just say, hey, look, we fucking cheated our asses off, but we have 4 Lombardis in our case, and they can't take them from us. Then, really, what can we say? We can say nothing. We go, well, yeah, you're right. You have 4 Lombardis. Like, as an Eagles fan, one of those came at the expense of my team. Of course, the Patriots had some pretty good film footage of practices and everything that they shouldn't have had. But, hey, look, we can't take that trophy out of that case. So just own the fact that this Patriots way, this fucking righteous, self-righteous dipshittery that you're engaging in is under false pretense, and literally everyone will move on because that's really all it is. Like, just acknowledge that you cheat, that you're really good at cheating, and that you're very innovative in that. Applaud yourselves for being fans of that, and just move on. Cool. Oh, also, yeah, speaking of these same shitty fans and cheating, there's several fans of the Patriots who are suing Roger Goodell and Robert Kraft and the Patriots for emotional distress related to Deflategate, which is still happening like 2 years later. So, I don't know. This Deflategate stuff can possibly go on forever because every time a court says, yeah, they cheated, suspend Tom Brady for 4 games, Tom Brady doesn't appeal, and the process starts again. I'm going to wait until like the president has to sign a law in front of Congress regarding this, because I think that's the only place it stops is if it gets up to the White House. So, yeah, this is absolutely ludicrous and stupid, and it's totally New England, and their fans are suing the NFL and the team for emotional distress because that's what you do if you're in New England, apparently. So, yeah, fuck that team and their fan base. Anyway, the Jets. All right, the Jets continually fuck up their quarterback situation. It's like things you can count on. Tony Romo getting injured, the Browns losing excessively, and the Jets somehow fucking up the quarterback situation, right? So Chad Pennington was the last quarterback of note. He was the last one that did anything, and he was always hurt, right? So Chad Pennington was actually, an overachiever. For those that remember, he was a noodle-armed quarterback out of Marshall. He did some good things for that Jets team. He did some good things. But he was injured a lot, and he had a weak arm, but his specialty was basically, I'm going to put the ball at a place that you're going to be at when you're there, and it's going to take a little longer to get there, so he's not going to be like Brett Favre gunning it in there. And they had some good success with him there, right? But the Jets, being the Jets, continue to fuck up the quarterback situation, and now they have this Ryan Fitzpatrick guy who did pretty good last year. He stood in there and he got his ass beat, and he was hurt late, and he pulled some games, and he is the best quarterback they've had in a very, very long time. And but he's kind of old. He's been in the league for a while, but he doesn't have a lot of miles on him, right? So he's just now kind of coming to his own. And I want to say he's like a Harvard graduate. He's an Ivy Leaguer. So he's he's went to a good school. He's an educated man. And he wants, starting quarterback money. He's trying to get paid. And the Jets are like, well, if we pay you, that means we'd be paying a competent quarterback, and we can't have competent quarterbacks around here. That's why we drafted Geno Smith. So, there you go. So I'm waiting for them to blow the dust off Michael Vick and bring him back so that you can watch him get injured behind that fucking line. But whatever. So the Jets continue to fuck up their quarterback situation because that's what they do. That's what their specialty. And then you have Brandon Marshall, who's weighed in on it, and he's kind of holding out like, hey, until you guys sign Fitzpatrick, I'm at odds with you. And I get it. Marshall, for all of his faults early in his career, I support him in this because, he did good last year. He understands the importance of Ryan Fitzpatrick to this team, even if the ownership doesn't. So, he figures as a star, he'll try to force the issue the best way he can. We'll see how that works out. Then you have this Sheldon Richardson guy who's awaiting substance abuse discipline from the NFL. This is the same asshole. I want to say that last year he fled from police at a maximum of like 150 miles an hour. I want to say he had a child in the car, some weed, and maybe a gun. Like, it was like, if you could make all the worst decisions right now aside of killing from someone, he decided to just do it all. Like, if I'm an NFL player, knowing I'm getting hammered for things like speeding and fleeing the police and substance abuse and firearms, let me do all those things. And let me throw in a child into this just so I make sure that the punishment that comes down, because it's going to fucking come down, is just. So Sheldon Richardson's an idiot who thus far has not made good decisions. So as much of a force as he is on the field, his ass is going to be like barred, like banned from the stadium for a while after the NFL gets done with him. Because Goodell doesn't play around. He's going to hammer you for jaywalking if he can. And they'll probably take him to court like Brady, and they'll probably lose, and then he'll win, and then he'll lose, and it'll be stupid, and it'll be like Jaywalk Gate or something, and we'll make up some stupid name for it. Or Jaywalk Ghazi is another one that I like to throw around. Either Gate or Ghazi now are the names for big scandals. It's dumb as hell. It's fucking stupid. Anyway, so the Dolphins, right? The Fins have a dude bro with a shitty attitude at Ryan Tannehill, right? So Ryan Tannehill, reports came out last year that Ryan Tannehill got so frustrated at some point, the coach had totally lost control of this team. The same team that employed and enabled Richie Incognito to his finest racist statements and shitty behavior. Also had a problem with discipline, if you can imagine that. So apparently the scout team defense was eating the starting offense alive. I mean, they were picking Ryan Tannehill left and right. The coaches, which for one, it's a problem that your starting offense is getting bludgeoned by your freaking scout team defense, right? Those are like practice squad guys. They're not even like on the active roster. and they're kicking the shit out of your starting offense. Not good, especially when Tannehill's a first-round draft pick, right? So the coach tells him, hey, guys, calm down. We're trying to run this play, right? They don't, which is another problem because that means the coaching staff had no control over the fucking practice squad guys, the guys who can literally just be fired. The coaches couldn't handle them. So they're still picking Tannehill, right? So Tannehill gets frustrated. Tannehill goes, fuck you guys. That's why I'm a millionaire, and you bitches are driving like Camrys or some shit. He said something along the lines. It was like uber disrespectful, considering it came from what is equating to be, the second coming of Sam Bradford. He's like peaked in college quarterback. He's not going to do anything great in the NFL. So to have him like shit on people's lives like that because he can't throw a fucking football to save his life was really kind of out of place. It was wrong, but whatever. So also in their big free agent acquisitions in a trade swindle by the Eagles, they got Byron Maxwell, which yay, good luck with that shit. So you can look forward to him getting his lunch eaten by everyone else they play as he tries to guard the number one quarterback, number one receiver to find out that he's not capable of doing as such. So he's going to give up about 10 touchdowns plus this year to opposing receivers. He's okay as a cornerback. I'm not going to sit here really and drag him too much. He's okay, but if you're pulling this guy in to be a savior in your defensive backfield, I don't think he's able to do it. I don't think he's going to do it. So thank you for taking him off our hands as the Eagles fan. Good luck with him. Hopefully he flourishes in Miami. I'm just saying, I doubt it. So you have that. Also, really the biggest thing that sucks about the Dolphins is they always look like, if you look at them on paper, they always look like they can challenge the Pats, but they never do. Like, they look like they're going to do great. You're like, oh, they got this guy and they got that guy, and they picked up this big free agent signing, and then they go out and they fucking suck, and you're like, what happened, Miami? Miami, where you at? Miami. Seriously, where are you at? It's like when LeBron went to the Heat, the city collectively gave up all their fucks when it came to football. Like, no one in Miami cares about football. And they're fielding a product that kind of reflects how the city feels about their team. Like, I think Miami fans are casual sports fans anyway. Like, no one watches the fucking Marlins play, or whatever team is down there at Tropicana. No one really. The Dolphins suck. And the Heat, they did good. Can't shit on the Heat. Dwayne Wade, they did good. But it really seems like even when LeBron was there, if things weren't going right, they just kind of left. Like, so of all the bandwagon casual fans, I would put them right up there with like Seattle for shitty fans. And then we have the Bills. So the Bills are interesting because now you have both of the Ryan twins. For those of you who are unaware, Buddy Ryan, who is basically if you could take a shit talking loaf and wrap it in a tortilla, that would be Buddy Ryan. Buddy Ryan was responsible for the 46 defense that the 85 Bears used to absolutely dominate every game they played for the most part. So he has that. But then he had twin sons, Rex and Rob. You may remember Rex. He talks a lot of shit and never substantiates it. And then you have Rob, who's a quieter, more reserved twin, but he's still a Ryan, so he still has a couple of good sound bites. So what you have with them is you have both Ryan brothers. One, Rex is the head coach, and Rob is the DC. And I totally expect them as a team to suck, but I expect the Ryans to talk enough shit to where you're going to tune in and watch, so to be like super entertaining to watch them suck. Because you're like, wow, these guys talk so much shit going into this game, and they're getting the doors blown off. That's going to be the dynamic in Buffalo. All right, they've lost a ton of talent on defense to Jim Schwartz going to Philly, so a lot of their guys went to Philly to follow Schwartz. Yeah, Mario Williams, who said F this and left, and we'll get into that later because he's still inside the division. So Mario Williams said, fuck it. He was like the best defensive lineman a couple years ago. And that's kind of like Rob was a DC in New Orleans prior to coming here, and he got fired. He got fired because the defense sucked. The defense sucked because they let all their talent walk, and they were like putting extras from The Walking Dead out there, and they're getting their asses handed to them because that's what happens if you field no talent. Like, you can't really scheme with no talent. Like Chip Kelly tried that shit, and we saw how that worked. So You can't do it. Rob couldn't do it, and that's what happened in Buffalo. So good luck to them. But no. Oh, as a bonus, they've already started saying, we're going to beat the Pats, which is Rex Ryan's annual prelude to getting his ass stomped in by the Pats. So good that we got to jump on that and get it out early this year. But yeah, the Ryans, they're going to take two disastrous losses to the Patriots, and they're not going to be 10 to 20 type games. It's going to be game of lose by 2 or total blowout. What's the most painful way to lose a game? That's going to happen 2 separate times when they play the Pats. Anyway, so that's why they suck. But there's hope, and I tell you there is hope. All right, so here's the good news, right? If you're a Patriots fan, there's still some good years left in Tom Brady. He's had a surgery here and there, but for the most part, he's kept a clean bill of health. They protect him well. As a result, he hasn't taken a lot of hits. As of late, he's been taking some hits, but he hasn't taken a lot leading up to now. So, you still have several good years left out of Tom Brady before he's ineffective as a quarterback. And I'm not going to say before he decides he's going to quit, because he said he's not going to quit until he's done. So look for him to continue to play for another 3, 4, 5 years. And that's good news if you're a Patriots fan, because he brings a lot of stability to that team. We also have Gronkowski, and he's still very much a thing, and you still really can't match up against him. So the only thing to really take Gronk out is to literally take Gronk out. If he gets his elbow blown out or knee or something, that's the only thing that really stops him. The guy's a matchup nightmare. Linebackers aren't fast enough, tall enough. Safeties aren't big enough. Tall. I mean, he's a nightmare. He just takes your team apart. You also have Emperor Palpatine at the head coach. Now, you don't win 4 Super Bowls with asterisks just because you cheat well, because I'm sure there's been plenty of cheaters who have failed miserably in their quest for the ring. That head coach has gotten them to 6 dances and has won 4 of them. So, he's a good coach. Now, what's really exciting is how they taken the NFL into the future with some groundbreaking, revolutionary cheating techniques. I mean, that's cutting edge stuff. And I'm honestly looking forward to the next scandal, because I think the next scandal will be even more petty than Ballghazi or Deflategate. What are we calling it right now? Fuck, I don't know. Either way. So the Jets, if they can get themselves together, they can challenge. I believe they can challenge the Patriots for that division. And they came pretty close last year to a playoff berth. They did. Ryan Fitzpatrick did a great job for them. And they got a solid team and they got a solid coaching staff. But they have got to quit fucking around with this contract for Ryan Fitzpatrick. They got to sign this guy. He is really so what do you have behind him? But the dude who got his jaw broken over $600 in the locker room? That guy? Yeah, look, Geno Smith is not a good quarterback. Your best bet is Fitzpatrick. You got the money, pay the man. Just pay the man, and it's the only, unless, you guys swing a trade with the Eagles to pick up Bradford or something, then he's your only hope right now. So, yeah, that's what the Jets got to do. Now, the Dolphins have Ndamukong Suh, Mario Williams, and Cameron Wake along a single defensive line. That is frightening. That is absolutely frightening. Ndamukong Suh fights off double teams like they're just like high school students. If you put a high school guard in front of him, that's about the same as putting a double team at this level. He's an incredibly strong person, and he's got malicious intent in everything he does. So he's beating the shit out of everyone he gets his hands on. When you combine him with a veteran Mario Williams, who's angry and still inside the division, and Cameron Wake, who's a bit younger but fucking still good, you have a very fearsome defensive front. So as the offensive lines and the rest of the division kind of come and go, because DeBrickshaw Ferguson, I believe he retired for the Jets, they have holes, and these three could have a profound impact on the health and mental well-being of the opposing quarterbacks. So that's a monstrous line. That is a monstrous line. They also had a pretty good defensive backfield last year, and they should have another one going in. So it's not going to be I don't believe that they consist of like the Legion of Boom type players, but they're good. They're good enough. And if Ryan Tannehill can pull his head out of his ass and actually be an adult, they have a chance to. He has a chance to be a solid above average quarterback. I'm not going to sit here and say that Ryan Tannehill is the next coming of Dan Marino. Hell no. He no. But he has a chance to become a good, stable, like starting caliber quarterback. He's not going to take him to the promised land, but he's not going to be as much of a liability. But he's got to grow up. He's got to get there. And then you have the Bills. So the Bills lost a ton of talent, like I said. They lost on the defensive side at least. But they still got LaShawn McCoy. They still have Shady, right? And as an Eagles fan, for years we watched Shady just like completely evaporate in front of defenders and appear behind them scoring touchdowns. The guy is still one of the most dynamic, talented runners you'll ever come across. He's still the franchise leader in Eagles history for a runner. And I believe while he may be on his decline, he's got a long way to go before he becomes ineffective. So Bills still have that. They also have Tyrod Taylor, who young dude doing some good things for them. I mean, he's not like a break the pocket, gouge you for 30 yards every other play like Michael Vick was in his prime. But let's be real. If Tyrod Taylor decides he's going to tuck the ball and run, he's going to get you. And but that's not his biggest thing. He's still good with his arm. So I got to give him that. And then you have Sammy Watkins, who's faster than hell, who he's throwing the ball to. Like those three dudes at like a blink of an eye can bust a game wide open. Like they are instant offense. Like all you need is just one missed assignment and it's a wrap. And if you don't get Shady in the backfield, there's a chance that he's going to get you 15, 20 yards of carry. I mean, so the Bills are a team that are talented, and there's a reason you should have hope as a Bills fan. But I don't know. Like Rex Ryan is always doing, he's already doing the whole we're going to beat the Pats thing. So I don't know. But hey, good luck to those players, those teams, and those players in that division. It would be nice to see a team outside of the Patriots win the division. That'd be nice. But we'll see. Games have yet to be played. It's not even preseason yet, so predictions are off the table. I refuse to make predictions before training camp's over. We got to see who survives the rigors of training camp. Whose knees can survive the shitty field conditions? Who doesn't die? That kind of stuff. We have first-round draft picks below their knee. Look at the Jaguars. 2 of them in a row, year after year. Bet they didn't count on that, right? So it's foolish to make predictions now when it comes to the NFL. So moving on. So I've decided to do this weekly. I'm going to do the Philly media fuckery, right? Because I peruse the online media outlets, CSN Philly and Philly.com. I peruse mainly because they produce such a large volume of bullshit articles. Such a large amount. So this week in Philly media fuckery, so here's the thing. Here's the agenda. The Philly media is trying to generate a quarterback controversy, right? And it's easy to do. This is low-hanging fruit, but this is what I've come to expect from them. They're not going to do the hard piece. They're going to go for the low-hanging fruit, lowest common denominator type shit. So they're trying to produce a quarterback controversy. So in their attempts, you get feeble articles like this. Wentz looked better at practice, and he looks to be learning the playbook faster than Bradford. Oh my God, maybe he is going to be a week 1 starter. How about fuck no? How about this guy hasn't even thrown a pass in NFL in pads yet? He's not in camp. These are mini camps. And honestly, who gives a shit, right? Bradford's played in like 15 different systems because he played on the Rams and they fucking sucked. And now he's playing in 2 different systems in Philly in 2 years. I think Bradford's going to do just fine. Now, Doug Peterson went on to say earlier that, hey, Bradford's going to be a starting quarterback. And then Reich, the OC, says, hey, look, no one's guaranteed a starting spot to include the quarterback. So what he's saying is, and they tried to make something out of that, well, Bradford's not the guaranteed starter because, Philly media fuckery. Here's the deal. Bradford is presumed the starter. If you can look at this and be logical, Bradford is who they want to start. However, if Bradford goes out there and stinks it up, he's obviously not going to start anymore. Like, if he proves himself to be just a liability, you can guarantee they're going to sit him. I mean, come on, man. They're not saying that if Wentz is slightly better than Bradford at practice that Wentz is going to start. They don't have any intention of starting Wentz. They don't have any intention of starting Chase Daniels. They're paying Sam Bradford starting quarterback money for him to be a damn starting quarterback. And they totally think that he's going to be their starting quarterback. Now, he like I said, if he goes out there and stinks it up, or he plays like crap, then yeah, he'll get benched. But seriously, like, he's got more game experience than all of them. So you can count on Brad being under center, not Brad, but Sam being under center for week 1. All right, you may see, like, I'll guarantee you'll see some Carson Wentz in the preseason, and he'll wow and ooh, and the Philly media would jump on that and freaking work themselves into a nice thick froth and say that he should be a starter because he was able to run up the score on the scrubs from whatever team we're playing in the preseason. But no, that's not how this works. Bradford's going to be the starter, and that's what smart people would do. So, yeah, that article should have came with a disclaimer and a link to YouTube to something relevant because it was a waste of my fucking time. But I read it so I could bring it to you so you don't have to. Moving on. NBA playoffs. So, wow. The Western Conference Finals was crazy, wasn't it? I mean, it was like, it started off and with the close loss at home, and then like there were some blowouts in there, and then the team with the best record ever was down like 3-1. You're like, what? And then they came back and they won. You're like, what? And I had them winning in 6, but they won in 7. And it was very unconventional, right? So, you had Steph Curry coming off an injury. And what's he going to do? And he was kind of like not up to speed. And they took him out of his rhythm. And his shot dried up. And it's not like he's a good defender. And they were getting their asses beat. Like, there were like 3 blowouts during that season. Like, just straight blowouts in that series. I mean, was it game 1 was close? Game 2, Golden State blew them out. Game 3, OKC came back and blew them the fuck out. And you're like, wow, what is this? This is that conference championship? But yeah, so the Thunder were able to effectively out Golden State. But then, something happened, and then Game 6 came around, and Klay Thompson decided he was going to take over a game, and he did that, and he hung up 41 points on them in a win. And you're like, wow, like that was in Oklahoma City. The Thunder should have closed it out at home. Now they have to go to Oakland and play. But it's no big thing, right? Because they've won in Oakland before. They took game 1 in Oakland. So they went in Oakland, and Steph Curry remembered he was Steph Curry. And instead of like second-guessing his shots, he was just shooting through the 7-footers they were rotating his way. Because that's what they were doing. They were basically saying, we're going to give Curry less space to shoot. But Curry was able to say, whatever, I'm just going to shoot anyway. And so he did. And, he hung up like 30-some points last night in a show, in a spectacle. So now Kevin Durant goes into the offseason again, short of reaching the finals. And he's thinking if he wants to stay in Oklahoma City. And I'm telling you, if there's not many places for him to go. Like if he wants to go to the championship, he's gonna either stay in that super rough ass Western Conference or move to the cake ass Eastern Conference, where the Cavs are the only stacked team, right? I mean, really, the Cavs are the only team of consequence in the East. So he'd have to go to a team in the East and hope they build a team around him smartly, which they failed to do in the East thus far, right? There's also rumors, maybe murmurs, whatever, of him going to the Lakers. From a fan standpoint, I can see him, them trying to make him the next heir apparent of Kobe. Let's be real. Kevin Durant's defense is underrated. It's underrated and it's understated. Like, he's a damn good defender. I watched him pester and get in the way of all these passes, but then I saw, he doesn't have the lateral quickness to stay in front of a dude like Steph Curry, who's still not 100%. So if you can't stay in front of a 100% Steph Curry, maybe, for all the length you have, maybe you're not as good at defense, but he was good enough during the series. So maybe he goes to LA. Maybe they build a team around him. Maybe he ends up on the same team as Swaggy P or Mr. Azalea and the rat with the camera phone. Who knows? We'll see. We'll see how that works out. There's a lot of off season getting ready to be had in the NBA. So expect some moves. You have Dwight Howard, and now you have Durant, who may be looking to relocate. Right. So moving on to the Eastern Conference Finals. I'm actually shocked and surprised that the Raptors were able to win 2 games. Like, I really was. The fact that they won 2 games, it seemed like the Cavaliers were just not interested in winning those games. Like, they're just like, we'll take them off, whatever. And that's how the games were played. And it was not okay. It was not okay at all. I mentioned earlier in an earlier podcast that they looked like they didn't belong. In the games they lost, they looked like they didn't belong at all. And in the games that they won, it was like the Cavaliers were like uninterested and just unable to make a single shot fall. So I'm back to like, there's no team in the East that could push the Cavaliers, and I don't see that. I see that being the same thing next year. I don't see any team challenging the Cavaliers. Period. Like they are the class of the Eastern Conference, and that's how it's going to be for a long time. So now we have the Cavs versus the Warriors again for the NBA championship, and now we'll make my predictions. I predict that the Warriors will repeat as the NBA champions. Here is why. Number one, the Cavaliers are from Cleveland. You don't go to Cleveland if you plan on winning championships. We know that much. But something more substantive. The only X factor really that they have is Kyrie Irving. All right, they know how to make LeBron work his ass off, and he's going to have to. They know how to deal with the rest of the players, and they have matchups for everyone except Kyrie Irving. I don't think they have a guard of the caliber of Kyrie Irving to defend him. Right now, Curry's going to get his shots. Curry's going to shoot. Curry's going to do his thing. But Curry can't stay in front of Kyrie Irving. So if Kyrie Irving goes off, Cleveland has his chance. Cleveland does. I just don't know. I can't depend on him going off enough to will that team to a win, to take the pressure off of Love and LeBron. I don't know if he can do it. However, like I said, the games remain to be played. I'd say the Warriors in 6. And that's going to be my prediction. And I'll let you know if it changes. So, yay. The Phillies, well, on a baseball. Sorry, on a baseball. The Philadelphia Phillies still technically don't suck. They're, I want to say like 26 and 25 right now, I want to say. So they're above 500, if just barely, which for baseball is pretty good from what I hear. But I'm not really paying attention to baseball too much until the playoffs kick off, because baseball is a long season full of long, boring-ass games, and I don't want to pay attention because I don't want to do it. All right. Also, the Stanley Cup finals are on, right, for Lord Stanley and his cup, and it's the Penguins versus the Sharks. It's Pittsburgh versus San Jose. And now, I'm not like the biggest hockey fan, but I do like to watch some hockey. It's a very fast game, a lot of motion. There's some good contact in there, and there's some spectacular stuff that happens in hockey. Hey, listen, if you don't watch it, if you've never watched a hockey game, listen, you need to tune in, because apparently this game 1 of the Stanley Cup was pretty damn good. And that Sidney Crosby, who's one of the top players in the NHL for the Penguins, had himself a hell of a game. Now, I am not a Penguins fan because I'm a Flyers fan. And so I don't like the Penguins because by default I'm a Flyers fan. But you know what? They're a good team. They're a good team, and I'm a little upset that I didn't get a chance to watch that game. So, boom. So all right, that's what we have. Like that's our sports news. That's our podcast for today. Now, next weekend we're going to be doing our next segment of Why Your Division Sucks, and we're going to be tackling the AFC North. Right. So all you Cincinnati Sissy Cats and Steelers fans and Ratbird fans, Ravens fans, and Cleveland Browns fans, brace yourselves, because it's coming. I plan on dragging all your teams through the mud, regardless of how many Lombardis you may or may not have. So, ta-da. All right, so once again, hey, look, I'm on iTunes. Find me, Dirt Diggler Sports Podcast, and Stitcher. And I'm looking forward to reading all your hate mail. Diggler2823 at gmail.com. Hey, look, send me a line. Send me something good, why do you shit on my team, blah, 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 blah. Just send me something, right? If it's good, I'll read it. Right now, I have no mail, and it's kind of sad. But, hey, look, it is what it is. We all start somewhere. So, like I said, hey, it's been real. It's been awesome. You guys enjoy your evening, morning, afternoon, whatever time you choose to listen. And you guys just have fun.